So now that the trade deadline has come and gone, shout out to the Bengals. We didn't really do anything other than trade Logan Wilson. Question now is, should we pick up Christian Wilkins? Now, obviously, Christian Wilkins got cut by the Raiders earlier this year because it's still unknown exactly. He blew a kiss or he tried to kiss somebody. Like, there was something to do with his lips on another man's body. Yeah, it was a weird situation, guys. And he got cut for, I believe, I think that's like sexual harassment or something. So he got off the Raiders. They also cut him for other reasons as well. But he ended up off the Raiders and hitting free agency. And since then, no one has picked him up. Now, a little bit of it is also his injury that he had. So that's also another factor. But the question is, with all that being said, kissing random people against the will indeed, should we pick him up? At this point, let's do it. At this point, our defense is so bad and literally cannot tackle to save their lives. Why not? Because as long as he can keep his lips to himself and not with anybody else, and we can get him for a decently cheap deal, I don't really see the reason not to. He's 29 years old. He's about to be 30 years old on December 20th. But maybe we bring him back next year as well, and maybe we somewhat start building this defense in the correct direction. This is a guy who, when he does play, he's a very good player, okay? This is a very good player when he plays. Obviously, we have to look past the funny stuff about him. But he did put up 9 sacks in 2023, put up 2 sacks in 2024. Again, only played 5 games. He had an injury. He put up 3.5 sacks, 4.5, 1.5, 2.5 throughout his career. So it's going to give us some type of, I had to say like some type of better defense, because our defense is simply that bad. And I don't think one player is going to completely fix our defense, but I do believe that he will help our defense. And at this point, we just got to get pieces in there that will help us. If you're not going to help us, if you're not going to give us anything, you're pretty much just going to be a GG at this point, right? So we're going to have to just put as many pieces in there as possible who can help us be successful. So I wouldn't mind going after him. Again, at the end of the day, the price has to be right. After the trade deadline, there's been a lot more interest in him and a lot more people, like teams, looking into him. So there might be somewhat of a competition here to go for him, but we have the money, especially now that we got rid of Logan Wilson. Why not just go out there and, see what he wants, and maybe he can come help us out in some capacity, because at this point, man, McKinley Jackson, last week, he requested a trade. He said he wanted to either be released or be traded. So Zach Taylor said he had multiple conversations with him, and they were really, progressing well. Zach said he really liked McKinley Jackson, and he thought he was a great player. And then last game versus the Bears, he was not a healthy scratch. For the first time this year, outside of the week, I think it was 6, he was not a healthy scratch, and it looked like, McKinley Jackson's finally going to get some play time. After requesting the trade and stuff, he's finally going to do something. He got 0 snaps in last week's game. 0. So I think we could put that one to bed. Let's just release McKinley Jackson. He wants off the team. He doesn't want to be here anymore. Just get rid of him and replace him with Christian Wilkins. And with that being said, there's also other positions we can also target. Now that, again, like I said, we have a little bit of money to work with. Not too much. But we have enough that maybe we could start going out there and getting some players. Justin Simmons. Let's go get Justin Simmons. At least make some of these games moving forward actually entertaining. So having a safety that can actually tackle and can cover a little bit would be a lot better than what we have right now on the roster. But outside of that, though, there's not really anybody else I think we should probably even target. But yeah, I know my energy seems a little down here, but it's just whenever I talk about our defense, and we talk about it a lot today at this point, it just always bums me out, man. It really always bums me out because all we wanted was defense to be at least, at worst, 23rd in the league, and they end up being 32nd. So we're just going to have to take this one step at a time and hopefully figure out this defense, man, because it is so badly, atrociously awful. See, I'm making up my own words at this point. So, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.